Cheating is always viewed in a negative light, regardless of the circumstances that precede it. This is not surprising, as it involves lies, betrayal, and hurt, destroying relationships, changing lives, and shaping people's characters. Female infidelity, in particular, is met with contempt, misunder, and condemnation. When browsing forums with women's confessions about cheating on their husbands, one immediately encounters harsh accusations and insults directed at the author. Today, let's set aside all prejudices, size, and our usual values, and try to rationally examine the motives and possible consequences of female adultery. Arna Veselova, a psychotherapist and family psychologist, shares real stories from her practice about women's infidelity. Emily, 22 years old, married for 2 years, husband is 26, no children. My husband is perfect. He helps with cleaning, takes me to the movies, and even cooks dinner. He fulfills all my whims, and with him, I truly feel like a wife. Sometimes, he is overly calm, but I rationally understand that this is ideal for family life. I've seen enough of passionate relationships where husbands raise their hands against their wives or insult them. Definitely not what I want. I'm finishing college, and I needed to create a major presentation for my project. I'm not very tech-savvy, shameful in the 21st century, so we started looking for someone to help. We chose his friend, a programmer. He has a girlfriend. I have a husband, so we all agreed without a second thought to this informal tutoring. Anthony, my husband's name, editor's note, worked late, so Connor and I would sit either at our place or his, and my husband would join us after work. One day, I came to Connor's place, and he asked if I wanted a beer with him, since he was really tired. I agreed, but asked if I should come the next day instead so he could rest. He declined, assuring me he just wanted to relax a bit, plus a deal is a deal. We worked on the computer for about 20 minutes, then he started showing me his pictures, turned on some music, and we started talking. That day, I just couldn't focus on my project, and the beer was taking its toll. Suddenly, Connor asked if Anthony and I watched adult films together. I honestly replied that yes, sometimes we did. Then, without hesitation, he opened a folder and played a video of that nature. He casually invited me, as if I were an old friend, to check out the actress's figure. I didn't dare say anything and just sat there, silently watching the predictable plot. Connor was watching me, I was watching the screen, but I could feel his breath. Long story short, the stars aligned, and something happened between us. It was wild, passionate. I don't know what exactly freed me like that: the beer, the movie, the secrecy, or his assertiveness. That was our last meeting. He hardly helped with the project, but he filled me with some kind of energy, madness, fire. I feel guilty toward my beloved, but I won't tell him anything. Our relationship has even strengthened. Maybe I'm just trying to atone for my guilt. I haven't figured that out yet. Would I do it again? Probably, which is why that meeting was the last. Victoria, 36 years old, married for 15 years, has 2 sons. I work as a teacher, so I always spend a lot of time on my appearance. Eric, my husband, approves of my dedication to looking well-groomed. After all, I represent my class, and I am a role model for young girls. My husband is amazing. His money goes to the family, and mine. I can spend however I want. He helps at home, is great in bed, and is an excellent father. I never considered cheating because I simply don't have the time, nor do I want to waste my energy on getting involved, hiding things, and dealing with the consequences. I met William at a restaurant while celebrating the christening of a good friend's daughter. Oh, he was hard to look away from: tall, confident, impeccably dressed, bold yet charming. He came alone in an expensive car, so it was no surprise that everyone was staring at him. Even then, a thought crossed my mind that if I were ever to cheat, it would be with someone like him, if I ever even considered it. 2 weeks later, I was running errands and stopped at a cozy cafe for coffee. Will was there having lunch with a friend. He recognized me immediately, came over, and acted as if we had known each other forever. He told me not to leave because he'd be right back. They left, but 10 minutes later, he returned alone. We sat at a table and talked for a long time. William was incredibly interesting, and he didn't hold back on compliments. When it was time for me to go, he asked when we would see each other again. I refused, saying that running into each other by chance was one thing, but planning dates was another. I was a married woman. He said okay, and, deep down, I felt disappointed. 2 days later, we ran into each other at a shopping mall. I doubt it was an accident, though our town is small. He came up so close that I could barely breathe from his intensity, and he suggested we go to another city. Just for a day, on a business trip. I agreed and immediately panicked. Why did I agree? How would I explain this to my husband? And I knew exactly why I was going. I could always leave at any moment, I reassured myself, which gave me strength. Eric accepted the news calmly. I often traveled to the regional center for work. I didn't take my car, saying I was going with colleagues. Those were the most unforgettable 10 hours of my life. Will has a huge apartment there, so we enjoyed each other everywhere. His strength and experience both enchanted and scared me. Men like him only exist in books. He wanted to take me away from Eric, but I wasn't about to destroy my family. Yes, it feels amazing to be the center of someone's universe, and with him, I truly felt that way, but I couldn't betray my family. Sometimes, I want to confess to my husband, but I can't bear to hurt him. And my sons, they would never understand me.